Yeah, break it down. Yeah, come on.
Yo, 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 guys, what's good? What is happening? Jeez, toasty time. What's going on, guys? PC Shed, what's happening? Matt C, Stum, Dozer. What's going on, my man? Dozer, man. Dozer, just for the record, guys, a gentleman called Dozer has turned $10 into 4,600. Give the guy some love, man. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic, man. Brilliant. Yeah, that little bit of behavior by Bitcoin just now. Stop, hunt, rise, drop. You know what's going on. Brilliant. Well done, Dozer, man. I just wanted to give the guy the credit where it's due, man. The guy smashed it. And he's been documenting his journey. He's been messaging me, just sending me everything. And it's been an interesting ride for you, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. Place each trade as if you still have that 10 bucks, man. And before you know it, you know where that's going. Wonderful. What is happening, everyone? Is everyone all good? Yes, this is live. This isn't a pre-recorded stream. How can you ask if it's live? Just don't tell the wife. Yeah, because you know that's going to be minus 4.6. Wicked. How is everybody this evening? To be honest with you, we expected. The price action today was very interesting. All right. And It's you're going to enjoy something. You're going to enjoy this. Tonight's going to be an interesting night. Okay, then. So, firstly, I address who else we got in here. John Rad, how you doing? Southern D's, System Hack. I haven't listened to it yet, bruv, man. I ain't had the time to go through anything, man. It's been crazy today. Today's been an interesting day. All right. So, Charles, how you doing? Oh, it seems like System Hack's song is sick. All right, I'm going to be listening to that. I'm going to listen to it. Hey, Life, how you doing? Leon, wicked. Yeah, nice one, Charles. All right, then. Supernova XXL, what's good? All right, and cool. Gold-blooded, what's happening? All right, and guys, let's get with it. Okay? Let's have a conversation. I think we need to consider what has been happening today. Ooh, do you see that? Everybody see that? That, my friends, is courtesy of Mike Dutch. Courtesy of Mike. You know what it was. Should we do it again? There you go. I've been doing that all day. I've been hitting that all day. All right, then, cool. Right, let's get straight to it because I like to keep these lives nice and short and sweet. So, what's been going on today with Bitcoin? Well, for the patrons, it was a very interesting morning to say the least. Okay, but history did repeat itself. All right, and I'll be showing you what I'm talking about. Funnily enough, if you watched last night's stream, Bitcoin hit the projection point, right, which is this area right here. She rode that move, had a stop hunt low from last night, stop hunt low, rise. Okay, very interesting price action behavior by Bitcoin last night. And then this morning, it was even weird because they kept on hitting the highs. They wanted the orders, okay? And then they made one last spike towards the range daily high, which was in this zone, okay? And we were waiting for it. And then they just spiked up so fast. They achieved the Brinks box and then they hit the reversal. Those of you guys, the guys today, you witnessed how the Brinks box is played, okay? And you guys that got that stage chat recording, please go through that. Go through that as many times as you can because it literally is showing you how the Brinks box works out in real time. All right. So I'm going to be doing plenty more of those stage chat recordings. Anytime I step into the stage chat, then we're going to record every single one. All right. But what we need to understand is this, guys. All right. We've had this long vector candle. It needed to be retraced. Okay. Now, this retrace, it has come back to the 50 EMA. It's gone beyond the 50 EMA. All right. It came back down to the daily open, but it pulled away. This session, Sydney session, should I say, or Asian session tonight, is pretty much the make or break of Bitcoin. However, it looks like this V pattern might actually turn into a W formation. So let me just move all the lines right here that I've got so we can see what I'm talking about. All right, then, cool. So price has come all the way down to the lows, spiked the low, come all the way back up. We've now hit the high, which is the 200 EMA, near enough. All right, we were so close to the psychological low. It was unbelievable. All right, now they're pulling it back. This pullback, how far will it go? Will it be the second leg of the W formation? This is what I'm waiting for. Now, the reason why I think it will be the second leg of the W formation, because we've still got this vector candle in this area right here that needs to be recovered. We've even got this candlestick right here. Because price is now pulling back, there's a good chance that they might actually visit this point. Okay? But it's all down to what it does at this point right here. If I zoom in, bring it up for you closer, here we go. It all resides on what happens at this point right here right now. All right. This current hour that we are in is the dead gap time. There's nothing happening in this zone. All right. It's just market makers working a range. Look, the big spike to the upside. All right. Crazy move up, spiked the high, took out the stops, brought it all the way back down. Price is still below the 5 and the 13 EMA, and it's working the zone right now. Flip down to the 15-minute time frame. What do we have? Lovely. We have a price rejection at the 50 EMA. They may try and recover this red vector and pull straight back down. We've got the daily open right here. It's tried to show support at that point right there. But I believe that this is weakness. They're just working the zones. Look at the behavior of price as it's breaking down. Drop, rise, drop, rise, drop, rise. Still find rejection at the 50. Now they're going to try and pull things right back down into, again, the M2 pivot zone. All right. From this behavior, it just looks Bitcoin is going to pull back. And I believe we're going to form the second leg of a big W formation. Now, the only reason we're saying that is because we do have these vectors. Now, do you understand how important these vectors are? Look at how they brought price all the way back down to literally the start of this vector down here. It's unbelievable how they've recovered it. So by that token, depending on what happens next, we are going to see this next red, this next green vector candle. This also should be recovered. At the maximum zone, all right, they could bring price down to this point here. So we got the 31 mark yet again, and that is where the vector candles reside. Okay, but we will only know when they decide to make the move from this point right here, because right now the 50 EMA is pointing downwards in the shape of a clock. We can see it, it's like 3-4 o'clock. Okay, a little bit more down and it will be a 4-5 o'clock pointwards. So momentum is working to the downside. All right, looking at the RSI on the 15-minute time frame, you can see it's come up. Look how strong the market RSI is, the market base. It's just going downwards. All right. Excuse me, guys. Do the green vector candles need to be recovered if there are red vector candles immediately to its left? The word, don't confuse the word immediately in the sense where it must be done. Okay. They will do it at some point. It's just a matter of when. Okay. Now look at this red vector candle here. Came back down, spiked back up. We've got this manipulation right here where price goes up, pulls straight back down. Now it's looking to try and work this red vector. From my understanding, based on what I understand, is price should be pulling away from this point and continuing lower. We've got vectors in sight. They recovered the first vector, drop, retrace, continuation to the downside. This pattern might actually form. They might bring price down lower in this session or the next and set it up for the weekend. That's what I think is going to happen. That's what I think is going to happen. Because it's just today's behavior where they manipulated price and just kept it in this zone, trapping all the guys to go long. They achieved that manipulation. If you look at the vector candles here, look at the Brinks box. The Brinks box shows stop hunt rise, drop, intention for the rest of the session. That's the power of the Brinks box. That's the money box, right? They say the Brinks box, you know, the Brinks truck that brings the money. This is the Brinks box where price makes its false move, stop hunt rise, drop. This is what we look for with the Forex pairs coming out of the UK session. Sorry, in the end of the Asian session going into the UK session. But you got to understand this. Look, this is what happened. Market makers in Asia got longs committed to the upside. All the while they were building shorts. So by the time the Asian session ends, market makers in Asia obviously let the guys know in Europe what liquidity is trapped in this area. So the guys in Europe have one or two options. They either make a run for money or they can add to the existing pool. So the more shorts that they can add in this area, the better it's going to be for them when New York triggers the reversal. So price stabilizes and they hold it going across. Then they initiate the stop hunt rise and then New York sends price down lower. All right. So the patrons, you guys, if you remember that video I sent you, how we were talking about the daily open, They came all the way back down because yesterday what they did was they moved straight back up to the daily open. All right. Closed above it. And then by the time the new session started, they had finalized and they came down and moved back up. The same principle happened here. They rose away from the daily open and then they've come all the way back down. This move here appears to be what we understand to be a bit of a fake move to the upside. All right. The fact that they didn't break above the 200 EMA or even touch the psychological low, but the 200 EMA is the 800 EMA on the 15-minute time frame, that to me gave me the insight that things were going to change and they were going to look to start recovering these vector candles down here. It was just, it was so confusing today to sit here and be like, right, come on, are you going to make that break? It's a very important zone. But they just faked it out and then they reversed price back to the downside. Excuse me. So, looking at the comments here. Yeah. Hermes, it does look like, but you've got to understand as well, guys, right? This point right now in the chart, Bitcoin's got to recover these vector candles. It's not if they will, it's a matter of when. Now, we just need to understand at what point do we decide to make an entry based on the idea of when. All right? That's what we need to work out. They're finding resistance at the 50 EMA on the 15-minute time frame, which is the 13 EMA on the 1 hour time frame. The 200 EMA on the 15-minute time frame is the 50 EMA on the 1 hour. Well, we've been waiting for the 1 hour 13 EMA to cross over the 50 EMA, and that was achieved last night. But then look what happened. Price has now started to push price back down, and the 13 is close to crossing over the 50 EMA. If they can't break above with this vector, this candle here, and they can't break higher, then the next hour that starts in a few moments time, all right, might see the retrace of this wick right here, but I think they are going to be moving lower. And if they do move lower, it's to complete the second leg of what we understand to be a W formation. Because if they're trapping all the longs to the, if they're trapping shorts to the downside, all right, and taking out the stops by bringing price back up, they're going to get all the guys who went short to make a decision. They're going to think, right, yeah, Bitcoin's going to go down lower now. I'm going to start opening my shorts. So they allow them to open the shorts and price starts to drop. As it drops, the market makers will step in at the right point, which in this chart, we're waiting for this vector zone right here to be recovered and potentially this vector point to be recovered also. It's at this point down here, okay, where the market maker is going to say, okay, we've got everyone committed to the downside. Now let's make a run for money, and they'll test this zone one more time and then make the run towards the upside. That is what we're waiting for, guys. There's no two words about it. We've had the excitement. Now we're going to see if their intention is clear that they're going to go back up by building this start of this big W formation. Okay? Because if they come so fast up, all right, and they don't really show any consolidation or, you know, trying to trap more liquidity to the downside, then it's literally masters of manipulation working the zones right now, throwing everyone off. Everyone's talking bearish, people are talking bullish, and this is the best time that market makers can build positions, all right, on the fear and the greed of people who come into their playground and try and make a dime or two, all right. You know, don't you think we could go lower because of the low volume we're having in this range? Potentially, yes. That is plausible. All right. Drop onto the 4-hour time frame. Forgive me if I'm not my bubbly self, guys. Been an interesting day. Look, they brought price back down to back up towards the 50. Didn't even touch the 50 on the 1 hour on the 4-hour time frame. All they done was they recovered the first vector. Okay. This right here is where the concern is for me. On the 4-hour time frame, we've got this huge vector candle right here. All right. I don't like it. But I'm anticipating that they try and bring price back down to form the second leg of a W formation. Because if I zoom right out, you can see what's happening. We've been building shorts, building shorts, building shorts. We've tested the 50 EMA. We've rejected it, come all the way back down. I'm hoping it comes down and forms a second leg of the W. Okay? Second leg is what I'm looking for. So we're not out the woods yet, guys. Remember that. Remember last night what we said. In order for us to assume that we're going to be out of the woods, Bitcoin needs to break above at least the psychological range. It needs to come back into that point. It hasn't done that, especially when we had all of this aggressive movement to the upside. Trapping the guys to the upside? Most likely. Are they going to set price up to move down lower? Most likely. That's where we are right now with Bitcoin, guys. Now we've got to play the waiting game. We are waiting for a pattern to form. Okay? Because if Bitcoin does come back down and stabilizes in this point, you will see the vectors stepping in for the market makers to shift out of the zone. You saw them happen here. There's no difference why it can't happen here, because if it does come back down to this point and takes out all of these vector candles right here, then we are going to be looking to move back up higher and recover a lot of ground. There's a lot of money. Look at these projection points, man. Look at these points in the chart where they could actually bring price back. But Bitcoin needs to show commitment from their end to move up higher. All right. And we will know this when price comes back down towards this zone. These vectors right here need to be recovered for me to be able to understand what the market maker is going to do next. I don't like the fact that they're just in this zone right here. Okay. There's too many in this point. If you jump back in time, we only had this one. All right. And then they moved straight away from that point. But then if you look back, what was Bitcoin doing prior to that? Bitcoin was dropping. So then they snapped it all the way back up. Now they've moved price up to the 800 EMA. And then they opened their shorts. And then they started getting their longs filled at the low points as well. Right now, we're at a very important point in the chart, guys, which, like I said, make or break for Bitcoin until she comes back down to this point. And even if she does go higher, all right, she needs to break into the psychological high and low. She needs to come into this range for us to start talking about these next points. Okay. Let me flip over to Ethereum. See, Ethereum is trading nicely. All right. She came back down below her daily open. All right. But she didn't recover much of the vector candle. Ethereum, let me just get rid of this. Remove this up here, down to here, sorry. Bring that there. We've got the first leg starting. What on earth is that? Here we go. Got the first leg down here. And now we are waiting for the second leg of a W formation to form. That's what we're waiting for, guys. We zoom out. There's your pattern. That's what we're waiting for. The moving averages are fanned out. Momentum is favoring the downside. We're waiting for a pattern formation. Okay. Reverend, trading in the zone is the best book. Don't care what anyone says. XRP, let me just flip over to XRP. See, XRP, the thing about XRP, right, is they actually control this price. Right? They actually do hold it. But when it moves, it moves. Okay? Not too far from its psychological high and low. But we've got a vector candle. And funnily enough, XRP actually managed to stay above its daily open. But that is because their money was moving into Bitcoin and out of it. All right? That's where the priority was, to get money out of Bitcoin. So they just left XRP. Yes, we've got a little W formation here. You could see it's like a rise, level 1 drop, and then continuation up. But we need to wait and see what Bitcoin does. Bitcoin is the daddy. That's the one which will tell us what's going to happen next. All right. New 1 hour candle coming into play right now. We've got the 11 o'clock. I know it says 8 a.m., but this broker is 5 minutes delayed. All right, so we're going to see what happens next. This could be level 1. But the fact is, it's gone below the 50 EMA. We've got these green vector candles that are really close by. They recovered the one part of the candle. Now they're retracing up, and they've spiked the high, come all the way back down. That is market makers manipulating price. All right, so here's the new start of a new 1 hour candle in 1 more minute. There you go. So here we go. We got the start of a new 1 hour candle. So this is going to determine what's going to happen next. So Sydney as such is open. So we're going to see what's going to happen. The fact they've recovered the vector candle up here ever so slightly. We need to just see what happens with this move to the downside, or if they're going to start changing and move back up. All right. But the fact is, right, they came down all the way to the daily open, man. They didn't touch it, but they bounced away straight away from it. All right. So let's see what will come of this. They need to break the 50 in all instances before we can consider anything. But it's tricky games, guys. This is what pattern development is like. All right. A lot of behavior up here, man. They manipulated price very well in this instance. All right. But we need to see what happens in this session moving forward. All right. So here we go. Do you trade? Harmonic patterns. Journey by pain. Listen, harmonic patterns, you can't dismiss them. All right. Because they do have their place. But I guess I'm not in trades long enough to sit through a valid harmonic pattern. I know harmonic patterns work well on higher time frames. They do have their place in the lower time frames, but there's a good chance that they don't always play out. You can see some form of harmonic pattern appearing on Bitcoin, but it's all down to which one you're looking for. Okay. But what I understand about the harmonic patterns is, well, to be honest with you, they fit well with Fibonacci's. Excuse me. They fit really well with Fibonacci's. Okay, look, Bitcoin's moving. So, right. I need Bitcoin to just come out of this point. Put my fan on that. I am hot. Right. Before anything happens, it needs to break the 50. But all they're doing, right, if you notice the behavior today, spike low, back up, spike low, back up, spike low, back up. Trigger the shorts, take out the stops. Trigger the shorts, take out the stops. That's all they're doing. All right. They're working the 200 and the 50 on the 15-minute time frame. I'm in Bitcoin, but curious given how obvious it is now that the market makers have such influence on price. How will it ever be adopted as a genuine asset? Ben. I mean, the people tried to think that the marketplace itself was a fair ground. You know, it is a fair market for people. It's not a fair place, guys. The marketplace is not a fair place. You are in the market maker's playground. It's his zone. It's where he moves his money. He moves his money from one firm to the next. All right. And he takes a commission on top of it as well. We just come into this platform because we have this belief that we can exploit their behavior with conventional thinking of how to trade. Like when price is rising, the buyers are in control. Well, we're so far from the truth on that basis, and you know why. Okay. But you've got to just, the sooner you accept that this game is manipulative, okay, the easier your trading or understanding of this game is going to become, right? Because if you're going to try and simply trade off certain ideologies behind retail trading methods, you're just going to lose. 95% of people lose in this game, all right? How come there are thousands of ways of trading, but very few people discuss the market makers? If anything, people think that they're a myth. And you know what? Brilliant. The more people that think they don't exist, the more people are going to lose, because then no one's going to be paying attention to the business model that they apply in this game. All right? For everyone that needs to buy, someone needs to sell to them. That's the game. Everyone understands that trading is about a zero-sum game. All right? An equilibrium has to appear. Someone has to buy in order for them to buy. Someone has to sell. You can't come to a market and buy something that's not there. You have to have it sold to you. And the reason why it has to be sold to you is because you're going to want to profit on your position, and you need to take that liquidity from somewhere. And that somewhere is the float that the market maker provides. He provides the liquidity for your entry. All right? Yeah, Sean, exactly that. What was it? The greatest illusion that ever existed was, or misconception was, that the devil made us believe he didn't exist. Yeah. How about holders? Do they win if they hold for a long time? Well, look, holders themselves, you need to understand something about holders. If you're a true holder, you shouldn't even be looking at the day charts. You'll only be looking into your bags once, like maybe every 2 weeks or so, checking in. Because someone that holds is they have a belief behind their investment. They have an idea. They think that Bitcoin is going to go to 100K. All right, we'll sit tight and let it get there. Why are you interested in what it's doing at 30? Are you looking to accumulate more? Yeah? Then you start paying attention to the chart. If you ain't going to look to accumulate any more, you shouldn't even be paying attention to what Bitcoin's doing right now. Because you're in it for the long haul. Because when you start being a holder and then you come to the day charts and then you look at the 1 hour time frame and you see Bitcoin completely collapsing, that's going to trigger something in your mind. You're going to start thinking, oh my God, man, my portfolio is going to get battered. But it's the nature of the game. I know a lot of people have lost a lot of money with Bitcoin's move to the downside. All right. Then all of a sudden it comes all the way back up. Sentiment restored. As a holder, you just need to sit back and check in on price. I personally would check in on price once a month. That's what a holder does. You know, they are an investor. It's like buying a stock. You need to give it a chance to make its move. No worries, Tamani. Tamami. Yeah, Tamami. The time point now of Bitcoin is the same as the 0.2102 in 4 hours. It's like putting a mirror. History repeats itself. History does repeat itself. It does. It really does. Holders are hoarders. Yeah. It's okay to... Alright, what's this? Tino, what about guys like Musk or the bosses of crypto exchanges, Binance? Do you consider them as MM? I don't consider Elon as a market maker. He's not a market maker. He's just a pawn in the puzzle. Okay? That's all he is. But the exchanges themselves, they're the gateway to allow us to initiate with the market maker. They take our order and they feed it to the market maker at a moment's notice. All right? You punch in your order on Binance, it automatically gets filled with the liquidity provided. All right? And then Binance takes their cut. They pay the market maker their fee. They get their cut from us when we open a trade. When we want profit, we take it out. Binance pays us. Okay? Binance pays us from the contracts and the orders and from the traders that lose. Anyone that makes a single penny from Binance, from Bybit, from anywhere, you're taking it from someone's loss. Okay? And that loss, okay, is the liquidity that's been provided by the market maker. It's whose hands does it go to? Okay? Why do I use MT4 versus TradingView? MT4 is an electronic central network. It's an exchange connected to an electronic central network. All right. So in essence, there are many companies out there that offer MT4. MT4 is connected to a massive server. That server receives price inputs from traders like ourselves. Those orders get pumped into this server, and that server fulfills those orders. All right. You're effectively looking at the same price that bank traders, mutual funds, hedge funds, the same thing that they're looking at, but there's a delay on our platform, of course. We're not going to get that price before the banks. All right. And it's instant execution as well. That's the good thing about it. You can get instant execution when you're trading on platforms like MT4. This is the broker. This is the dealer's platform. He's giving me access to effectively his order book as such. The same platform that he buys and sells on. Okay? Except he charges me a commission to open an order. He sets it at a certain amount. He goes to the market, gets that order for me, gives me back the order, takes his commission, and then waits to see if we're going to be in profit or not. This is true. Do not get fooled by this spike up. All right? Until it breaks above the 50 EMA. Until it breaks above the 50 EMA. All right? On the 15-minute. Until it shows support at the 50 EMA on the hourly, because it hasn't broken above the 50 EMA on the hourly yet. Price is still stuck in between the 13 EMA and the 5 EMA. Okay? I don't trust this move. Okay? And granted, it could still go up, take this vector, form an M pattern, and then drop. Because they found resistance towards the 200 EMA. We will only know as time comes in, as it starts to flourish. All right? We've got at least another hour or so until the pre-market. Well, 45 minutes until Tokyo's pre-market. All right? And we just need to play the game, guys. All right? Bitcoin's made its move last night, stabilized in this zone, spiked up, and then it's come back down. All right? We need to wait and see what happens. Private people's bots are part of the market maker system. Nah, market makers are market makers by themselves. How do you know it's not head and shoulders? How do we know it is? Why believe this is a W, head and shoulders? Call it, man. Put your money where it counts. How do we know? How do you know this is not a head and shoulders? Hold on a second. Let me read this out. How do you know this is not a head and shoulders pattern for me? Anyone? Why believe this is a W, or head and shoulders? Bets. 1 for W, 2 for head and shoulders. Call it, man. Put your money where it counts. Okay, then. Look. Day trading strategy. Let me get it into your mind one more time. Granted, this could be a head and shoulders forming, okay? It could be a W. It could be a V. It could be whatever you want it to be. At this point in time, right now, based on how Bitcoin's behaving, she's recovered the vector candle. By that token, if the vector recovery is in full swing, Bitcoin will come back down to this point here and recover this part of the vector and then work towards this part of the vector, which by that token, it will have a potential setup for a W formation. We will only know if that happens. Granted, if the 50 EMA does show support, price might come back up and form the right shoulder. It could even form an M pattern, which is a variation of a head and shoulders. If it was easy to just simply pick a pattern and trade it, none of you would be sat in this stream. Okay? No one will be sat into this stream. Simple. But that's the name of this game. Welcome to speculation. All right? We are always going to be challenged on our opinion of what we think is happening. This is why it's an emotional game. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Fat Tad. What a name. The game of speculation, guys, is to get you to make a decision, commit your hard money with the expectation that it's going to go in your favor. All right? But we like to add confluences. We like to see what is happening right now. If you think that Bitcoin is going to go higher, put your money where your mouth is, place your trade, and let's see how it plays out. But try and make sure that you've got confluences to back your bet. Okay? The sheer fact that we are jumping in between variations of patterns that could be forming, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, once the market maker reveals his hand, we will know. This is why you need to have structure in your trading. If you're thinking right now, if you're asking yourself, where is Bitcoin going to go? And you don't know if it's going to go up or down, you haven't got a strategy. Notice when I say to you in the streams, guys, the number of confluences that I discuss. If the 50 EMA holds, price will continue back up and could take out this vector candle. All right? If it gets to that point, we will be making another decision as to whether or not we either hold our trade. That is on the principle that you get in at this point right now. Hypothetically, not financial advice. I'm trying to demonstrate an argument here. Right? But is Bitcoin actually starting to develop a second leg of a W formation? So then you will sit back and you will say, okay, I'm going to wait. All right? Whoa, what's happened here? I didn't restart my computer, unfortunately. But because we've got these vector candles here, you know the history of vector candles. They always get recovered. All right? It's not if, it's just a matter of when. They may bring price back down here and then move it back up. And that's where we might get the recovery of this candle. But the basis of this development of this area right here was a stop hunt rise drop. Notice what I'm doing, how I'm breaking down the areas of price, which is only going to lead me to what? A decision. All right? I base my decisions on what has happened in the day. I look back. Can I see anything of any interest here? Has that vector been recovered? Perfect, it's been recovered. Last night's stream we were discussing, and then it came back up to that vector point. Happy days. What happens when price hits a projection? It always pulls back. So right now we've got the pullback. How long is this pullback going to last for? Okay. The RSI itself, what's it doing? Below the market base, trying to find traction at the market signal. Volatility bands have expanded. So volatility is in the marketplace. Forget volume, volatility. Is there a chance? Okay. Is there a chance that it drops down to 26? Okay, right. Let's break it down again. So, if this 50 EMA doesn't hold, and this move to the downside continues, and it takes out vector part right here, and then it continues to take out this vector point, if it comes back down to this zone right here, all right, granted, every time it does come down to these points right here, it always gets busy. So you're going to see a breakdown lower. Now, there is a gap. This area here is a gap in price, which happened on the 12th of December 2020. Okay? Will this gap get recovered? Well, we put our money where our mouth is and we pay to play. If you've got that conviction, pay to play. That's the name of the game, guys. All right? That is the name of the game. We will never get guarantees in this game, but I will guarantee to you that there will always be an opportunity to place a trade. All right? If you miss the break away from the 50 EMA, you'll be able to catch the move after the retrace back to it. Because the retrace back to it is going to tell you what? If they break above it and continue and the 13 EMA crosses over it, you know you've got momentum to the upside. They favor higher prices. If it doesn't break above the 50 EMA and the 13 EMA continues to point downwards, continuation to the downside is present. That's what's happening right now. We are waiting for the deciding factor of the 13 EMA to determine the direction. Do you like to stop hunt down and then up on the last green big vector? But we still didn't recover 48k level. Look, we didn't recover the 48k level. Not yet. It's a matter of when. There are weekly vectors all the way down to 19k. Let's have a conversation on the weekly vectors. Right. Let me show you this. Let me just open a new chart on Bitcoin. Actually, let me just go to the weekly pattern. Right, it's going to take me a few moments or such to do this. Already labeled out. Vectors are labeled already on here. So, this is where we are. These are the vector candles that they might actually recover. Bringing it down to here. My goodness, 19k. That will be a sore sight. Yep, MT4 does have paper trading option. What makes a candle of... Okay, so how many people are new in this stream? How many people are completely new? Steve-O, yeah. I'm not a virgin. Wonderful. Thank you very much for passing through, guys. Thank you very much. All right, here's this death cross discussion. Okay, then. Crypto Mojo Live. Thank you, man. All right, then. Cool. I know. Maximus Power. Yes. I'm trying to demonstrate something. Okay. I don't like trade. Right, I can hear an alarm going on over there. Give me a second, guys. All right, yo, sorry about that. Okay, listen. Naturally, my day trading approach, I'm a day trader. I don't really pay attention to the higher time frame because by the time I've made my trade, I'm in and I'm out. I've no interest. Okay? By the time price comes, if there is vectors on the higher time frame, okay, on the actual lower time frames, there's going to be hundreds of more vectors that they will look to be recovering. All right, which naturally will get price to recover those vectors on the higher time frame. All right. Reason why I'm talking about it right now is to demonstrate to you the understanding about the vector candles. All right. By principle, yes, the vectors do get recovered. All right. Does that mean this candle's going to get recovered? No, because it's already been recovered. If we drop down lower, I mean, I can't even go that low in the chart. All right. But that's as far as I can go. I can go when Bitcoin was back at 3,500. Unbelievable. It's come back down towards the daily open and the 50 EMA on the daily time frame. It's just about breaking it. All right. These wicks down here, price may see them. Maybe not now, but they will see these points in the chart. And it's a shame because we had a good run with Bitcoin. Wonderful, innit? Spiking up 64. Look at that. Now it's come all the way back down. This is recovery phase. This gap right here is important. If price does come back down to this point right here, which is the range weekly low, it's plausible because they've actually come down towards the 29 mark. It's not too far away to 25, which then is the start of this gap. If it breaks this gap, it will recover this green vector. All right? It's a shame. Look at the monthly time frame. How scary is that? Look at that. How about that for vector retracements? Yeah? True stopping volume. Move up. Now look. Scary, isn't it? It's scary to consider that that is where Bitcoin can actually go. But as short-term day traders, I'm not going to be waiting until that point. I'm going to be getting in and out, shake it all about kind of story. Okay, that's the nature of my trading approach. Holders, this is what you need to be looking at. This is the zone that you look at because price is coming close towards it. We haven't even touched the 50 EMA on the monthly time frame. We are at the 13 EMA on the monthly time frame. Okay, it's trying to hold support. Isn't the 13 EMA such a lovely moving average right now? Okay, because the past 3 months it's dropped and it doesn't look like it's going to stop on the basis of the monthly time frame. Okay, monthly does look very bad. Holders getting offended. Guys, this is an opportunity for holders to do what holders do. I'm guessing holders don't buy at the highs. Or do they? Do they buy as it's rising or do they buy as it's dropping? True holders will always adopt the concept of value. They will always look to try and get it as cheap as possible. Traders will try and ride moves up and down. But holders themselves will always be looking for the cheaper option with the belief that they think it's going to go higher at some point. Right now, the monthly time frame is looking like a scary part in the chart. Okay? If I get rid of this, get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of all my pivots on here because I don't need them. On this thing here. Hold on. There we go. That should clear it up. Oh, still got more pivots. Why? Why have I still got more pivots? What an unbelievable thing. Asian gap time dead. Get rid of that. 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 I'm literally getting rid of everything that's on my time frame right now. I just need to get rid of it all. I don't understand why it's still here. Ignore it. Ignore it. Just going to get rid of it now. Bang. Okay. That's a cleaner chart right there for you guys. That's where we are. Okay. Sad days, isn't it? Bitcoin has spiked the low here and pulled straight back. But knowing the way that they do behave with the information that we've got, guys. Okay. There's a good chance they're going to recover these candles. It's too extended away from the moving averages. That's the 25 weighted EMA right there. Okay. If I were to put in, okay, the 13 EMA. Right, let's put the 5. Watch this. Put the 5 EMA. Look at that. Sharp move down. Let's put in the 13 EMA. There it is right there. Okay. This is where we are right now, guys. It's a sad thing. But we're traders. Holders. It's an opportunity for you. Cool. All right then. So, say the price zone to buy and sell for right now. What? Say the price zone to buy and sell right now. Okay. Buy when you think you should and sell when you think you should. How about that? Because that's just easy. What do you get from that? Do you want me to show you how the business model works so you can exploit it for yourself? Or if you want a signal, just go to a channel that gives signals, man. Yeah, he must be hungry. He must be hungry if he just wants a fish to eat. He's not interested in eating for a long time. He just wants to. He wants a snack. That's what he wants right now. A little snack. All right then, Kurt. What makes a vector candle? What makes a vector candle? Why is not every big candle a vector candle? How do I recognize? Well, the simple way, okay, to determine a vector candle. Firstly, you need this platform. Okay, you need this software. Okay, which if you need it, its links are in the description of the video. And then once you've downloaded the platform, go to the Discord, and in the Discord there are all the indicators in there that you need. Now, a lot of the indicators in there are literally just designed to give you representations of price at a certain point. There is no trigger to buy and sell. It doesn't say buy here or sell here. Okay, we focus on the candlesticks before we consider any death crosses, golden crosses, before we do any likes of the Fibonacci's or anything else. We will always consider what the candlestick is saying, because that's where the move starts. All right, 90% of every indicator that is put into MT4 is lagged anyway. There's a time delay on it. All right. Price breaks the 50 EMA down here, but the 50 EMA is flat. It's going to take a little while for it to happen, but you could exploit that. But do you know how many people trade purely off the basis of the 50 being broken? Which is why the 50 EMA is so important, which is why the 50, the 200, okay, are two important moving averages on the chart. All right. People set orders in those zones, which is why I always go on about the importance of price retracing back to the 50 or towards or away. That's what it's always going to be that important thing for me, because I've seen it so many times. And just listen, for an exercise for yourself, go back in time on the chart, zoom out and look at every time price pulls away from the 50, it always ends up coming back. Okay, look at this. Comes away from the 50, moves back up, trades away from it, tries to come back, nothing, pulls away even more, nothing, pulls back one more time, aggressively returns back to the 50, tries to break above it, but look, it's pointing downwards, man. Do you know how many guys went long on this candle? So many people went long on this candle because it broke the 50 EMA and traded higher. But then look what happens. They reverse price all the way back down, broke down, tried to come back, nothing, completely attacked away from the 50 and spiked all the way back up. And then they moved again all the way back up above the 50. And now we are where we are. Dan Marco, any advice for those of us who have to trade later in the day or on the weekend? Better to use smaller amounts and be more conservative in and out. Okay, listen. History tells us that the weekend is a very volatile time in cryptocurrency. There's no two ways about that. Everybody knows that. All right. But it's also a place and a time where a lot of people lose a lot of money, which is why I do. The most important times of the week are Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That's where you're going to see the moves. Okay? If you trade at the weekends and you get caught in the trading range on a Saturday, all right? Because usually when I do the Saturday stream for the members and the Patreons, okay, we see a little bit of a movement, but then it just stops. Nothing else happens. And that range pretty much holds all the way through towards the Sunday evening. And then you start to see some movement. Okay? There are two zones that you need to ideally be trading in. Either the London Open or the London New York Cross. Now, you can trade towards the end of the New York session. All right. Look at this. That's about 3:30, 4 in the afternoon. Okay. You can trade that point if possible. Or trade the Asian session. The end of the Asian session where you can catch the stop hunt low or the stop hunt rise. Could have done that today in the Brinks box. Drop down to the 15-minute time frame. This is what happened. Stop hunt rise, drop. You could have rode the fact that 50 price closed above the 5 and the 13 EMA. Open a small entry, rise it as much as you can. Hits the high. Start looking to break down. Close your trade. Drop down lower. Change direction. That's the thing, guys. Always be prepared to change direction. If you're in a trade and it's going against you, close it, change direction. Good traders cut their losses. Great traders change direction. That's the saying on the street. All right? Because there's guys that say, you know, if you lose 3 trades in a row, call it quits for a day. Hold on a second. If you lose 3 trades in a row, that means you've been buying in the wrong direction. Well, how about you go in the opposite direction and see what happens from there? Okay, if you lose again, you're obviously not having a great day. Then don't deplete your account. But the practice is, right, if you apply your strategy continuously, it's just going to be a matter of time before you grab that one move. All right? And then it goes in your favor. And then those 3 losses get, you know, completely dismissed. Those 3 losses, done. Out the way. What is the best correlation between volatility, liquidity, and volume for you to place a fast in, fast out trade? My advice to you to help you understand, not giving you any signals. MT4. First high, low of the week. Lost 40 times. How do you change your thing, man? That's crazy. Is there a specific time for a Brinks box? I understand it's pre-market before the market opens, but it's normally 15 minutes long or an hour. It's usually between 30 and 90 minutes. There are no books that talk about market makers. Peeps are freaking out on Discord. Tino said we go to 19K. Listen. I'm trying to deliver a point. I'm not saying, look, if you consider the vectors, okay, there's a plausible option that they could bring price back down to that point, okay? That is the case. If we are in what I think we are in, then Bitcoin's going to be recovering a lot of ground. Where's the reset? That's the question. All right, when do they say, okay, that's enough now? You know? Okay then. Right. I think I'm going to call it a night, guys. It's been a long day for me. Okay. And yes, we operate in the realm of uncertainty. Someone can say Bitcoin to 100K. Someone can say Bitcoin to 5K. All right? We will deal with it when we get there. Okay, we're going to have so many rises and retraces before, if we do recover those vector candles on the monthly time frame. And you know what? Do not be upset if Bitcoin is looking to go to 19K. We can't say to ourselves, like, look, we can't say to ourselves, right, I tell you what, let's just delete this part of the chart, okay, and let's just hope that the market makers don't come here. Okay, so here we go. What I'll do is I'll do that. Draw object. So have a black background right there. That's not really going to help, but hey. But you get what I'm trying to say. We try and delete this out of our lives and just hope that Bitcoin continues higher. Okay? There are market makers that are on the monthly time frame, the weekly, the daily, the 4-hourly. They have profit points, projection points, areas of liquidity that they need to come back to. Okay? Just look at all the green vectors that get recovered here. Look at this point down here, rise up, and they brought it all the way back down. Okay? Rise up, brought it all the way back down. Granted, it took nearly a year for it to drop. Okay? But we have been rising non-stop for the best part of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 months. If you count this little bit here. 12 and a half, say. Okay? You need to regulate, guys. But back then, we didn't have the same backing as we do now. But the thing is, guys, because we didn't have the same backing back then, but we have the same backing right now, doesn't mean that the backing of all these institutions, all these companies that are buying, okay, doesn't mean that they won't want to wait for Bitcoin to get down lower. Okay? If you're buying 1,000 Bitcoin, that means you can sit in a drawdown. Okay? It means you've got liquidity to sit through a drawdown and wait for it to actually come to a point where you can double up and start getting Bitcoin much cheaper. This coin was $64,000, 65 nearly. Now it's at 33. Could it bring it down all the way to 13? Do you understand how much more you can buy? If you're a whale, do you know how much more Bitcoin you can get on the principle that it recovers these vectors and then moves away from it? This is the hard truth, guys. Listen, let me get to this to you, yeah? This is the hard truth, okay? I know we focus on the 1 hour time frame and we hope that, you know, price recovers this vector bit and we're okay with it recovering this vector candle because we were there before anyway, okay? We cannot dismiss the fact that the monthly time frame is showing vector candles and price is pulling back. If you're going to be naive and ignore that, okay, do not be surprised when it doesn't go in your favor. If you're trying to catch Bitcoin to 100K, do you understand what needs to happen for Bitcoin to hit 100K anytime soon? Or even go back to 64? I'm not trying to install fear in your minds. I'm trying to get you guys to accept the realm of uncertainty. Because as much as these vectors are here, it may not recover them yet. But there will be a point that they do. Lewis, it depends on what you're trying to do. Nah, look, guys, I'm just trying to help you guys accept what the market is. Okay, you can't come into a marketplace thinking that, okay, I favor Bitcoin 100K. I'm only focusing on price rising. Okay, you can't do that. That eliminates the concept of you being a trader. But this is my point. As a day trader, it doesn't matter to me. If it goes down to 19, if it goes down to $5, there's going to be a 50 EMA that I'm going to be able to trade back to or away from. This is what I'm saying to you all. Make a decision. Are you a holder or are you a trader? Make the decision. If you're a trader, learn the way to trade. Watch the previous streams. If you're a holder, anticipate that there could be an opportunity for you to get Bitcoin cheaper. It's unfortunate if you are a holder and you were and you brought Bitcoin at 50K or 65. Very unfortunate for you right now. If you can't handle the harsh truth of trading, do not trade. Because the truths of trading may not just be me talking about Bitcoin going all the way down to 19K or even 14K. All right? There's also another harsh truth about it. There's the money that you could lose, how it can affect your life, who else it can affect, your family, your friends. What does it do to you as a person? Guys, trading is not for the faint-hearted. All right? Too many people are getting caught up in the, in the excitement of trading. Thank you for providing liquidity. That's what the market maker is saying. Okay? Please make a decision for yourselves. If you're a holder, behave like a holder. You're anticipating this sort of behavior. All right? It's seasonal. All right? An investor, he doesn't invest in a business and it automatically goes sailing to the highs and, it's continuously going in his favor kind of thing. The company booms and explodes. Very few companies do that. Why do you think an investor comes into a business and says, okay, I've got a 5-year plan. I'm hoping that this company is going to make my money back in the next 2, 3, 4 years. But because we can see vector candles at the 19, 14K part of Bitcoin, all right, everybody's going to lose their mind. Bro, we are in the adoptive stages of Bitcoin in cryptocurrency, guys. All right. At a moment's notice, it could all change. Do you understand? It could all change. But based on what we understand about how the market maker moves and his behavior, there's a good chance that they could actually bring price back down. And I ain't trying to FUD you out, guys. I'm trying to get you to think. I'm trying to help you understand and not be with your eyes wide shut. Okay? These are things you need to be paying attention to. Because in that way, there won't be any surprises. You'll be able to then make a plan. You'll be able to adjust yourself. You won't be caught out. Now's the time to make a decision. If Bitcoin does continue down lower, all right, as a holder, 1 or 2 choices. Move your money elsewhere or get ready to start buying Bitcoin cheaper. All right? That's what we need to understand. All right? And I hope that puts things into perspective for you guys, because trading, man, it's hard, guys. It is hard. All right? It's got a bad name. The word trading itself, you automatically think instant wealth creation. All right? Taking something that takes a while to create and fool people into believing that it can be amassed at a moment's notice. All right? Wealth creation in a moment of in a mad moment. I'm telling you, man. Instagram doesn't do a good job of that. Go onto Instagram, type for the hashtag trader. Granted, you're going to see price, you're going to see Rolex, you're going to see fucking Ferraris, you're going to see all sorts. Okay? You're going to adopt the idea behind what trading can do for you. But are you prepared to do what is needed to be done when it comes to trading? I won't sugarcoat anything, guys. I'll tell you straight as it is. All right? It's a brutal game. Make a decision. If you think trading's for you, get ready to embrace the concept of uncertainty, that at any moment it can change. And you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay and have expectance of the unexpected. All right? I'm going to leave you guys be. Okay? I'm going to let you guys get on with your evening. All right? And I hope, yeah, Savage Trader, this is it. This is the hardest, easiest way to make money. All right? It is the hardest, easiest way to make money. Do not get confused by it. And I just want to thank everyone for allowing this channel to hit the 40K mark. God bless you all and thank you so much for that. All right? But just have a conversation with yourself on what I discussed tonight. Okay? I haven't really spoken about price and what it's going to do. All right? I'll quickly just break it down, but you understand from the start of the stream. Okay? We understand what is actually happening here. All right? We've got vectors that need to, where that price needs to come back to visit if it's consistent with this move. All right? we will know what needs to happen for us to convict that price is going to continue higher. All right? 5 minutes until Tokyo pre-market. I'm gonna sit through that with you guys. John Wilson, how you doing, my brother? Hey, at least we hit 40k somewhere. Happy days, bro. Infinex, man. Then how does it ever rise in the long term? Because it pumps up. That's what it does. It does always rise. Okay? That's what I'm saying. It changes. Sentiment changes. This is uncertainty. Okay? Yeah. No worries, guys. No worries. It's awesome. Do you know what? I'd love to support a football team. I just like Ronaldo and Messi. And Zidane. They're my players, man. I ain't even got time to watch football, man. That's the crazy thing. I ain't got time to do it. As much as I'd like to watch football, I get a bit frustrated, which is why I'll go and play FIFA. Because I hate watching the winning team lose. And I won't support a team that loses. What's the point in that? I know you probably will say to me, well, that's where the support aspect comes in. Well, if you want to pay for a season ticket to go watch a team that loses all the time, I mean, you need to give your head a little bit of a wobble. And I know there's probably some extreme football players, supporters in here. Well, I'm that guy that will ask you, what football team do you support? And I will be the opposite team. Just because I love doing that banter. All right? I always start it off. And if someone says to me, what team do you support? I'll say Chelsea, for example. Letting you know, they've won. All right, and they're winning. And they'll say, oh, of course you're going to say that, Glory Hunter. And I'm saying, okay, since when did you ever want to be on the losing side and be glorious about that? No one. No one wants to be on the losing side. I'm going to support the team that wins because I like to see success. I like to see people celebrate. I like winning. I ain't going to be the happiest guy or be the happiest loser on earth. You know, oh, my team made relegation today. Wicked. Get the champagne out, man. We're going into League One. We've left the Premiership. We're going into the division. What is it? I don't even know. I don't even know what it is. You've got the Premiership. And then you've got... God, I've lost my mind. I don't even know. What happened to John McAfee? What happened to him? Yeah, those were crazy times. I might do a couple of streams at the weekend. No! No! He killed himself. Nah, man. That's so bad. Sudoku in prison. Are you serious, bruv? Wow. What a guy. No way. That's sad. That's messed up. I know he was a crazy guy, but... Oh, he was murdered. Rumor is they killed him. Extradition to the US. What reason would they have? He was murdered. Don't let the media fool you. Why would he have been murdered? I'm not up to... Oh. Okay, that's why. Yeah, it is a sad loss. He didn't do it. He predicted his own murder in a post. What? Got a tattoo. I want to see that tattoo. That is crazy, man. That is unbelievable. He was facing allegations for him hiring someone to murder his neighbor, I think. Ah. This is it. Tat says whacked. Oh my God. Do you know what? It's a very trying world, guys. You know? The impact of one individual. Tokyo pre-market in play, guys. Threatened to deliver information about corrupted CIA heads, so guess yourself. I mean, there are so many people in the world that have the... But you know what? They'll say that he committed suicide or he was murdered. Okay? There will always be dirt on people. All right? We can't escape that. If there was dirt on the CIA, then was it a staged suicide? Who knows? Right? But it's enough to get people talking about it. Under Vibes mashups. I've been in trading for the past 15 years, 11 consistently, and I've been in crypto since January. Okay? January this year. Why did I come to crypto? Because I've been trading Forex for the best part of 11 years solid. And I thought to myself, could I apply what I knew in Forex in crypto? Because the principle must be the same. There's candlesticks, there's vectors. The principle is there. It's not going to be a completely different thing. If anything, we're you know, coming into the adoptive stages of cryptocurrency. All right. Now, I was in crypto before that. You know, I brought a few coins and I just left them. Okay, but I only became fully involved in crypto in January. And I've learned a thing or two about cryptocurrency since then. And if it wasn't for this channel, I would not have that education. And 90% of it has come from you guys. From all the conversations that I've had with people. You know, and that I'm grateful for, guys. That's why I'm committed to all of you. We are going through right now an information exchange. That's what we're doing. Now, this information can lead to wealth creation. And that is where I'm forever grateful for anyone that I speak to or anyone that talks to me about anything. I get thousands of messages and I'm trying my hardest to get through them. So if I don't respond straight away, I am not being ignorant. You know, if every platform that I get a message on, if there was a voice note ability, then I would send you a voice note because those are so much easier to send back. On Instagram, ask anyone on any of the followers on Instagram. All right, they will always get a voice note back. I always do voice notes on Instagram. I hate typing. So, yeah. I'm going to make you answer. Yeah, I haven't done anything for the Forex channel yet. I haven't done anything yet. It's just, check this out, right? I released the Forex channel. Okay. Hold on a second. Oh, what's happening here? All right. I released the Forex channel when Bitcoin was doing this. I don't think anyone really cares about Forex right now. When Bitcoin was doing this, that's when I released the Forex channel. I was actually at this point here. I released it in this live when price was rising. Okay. But then the next day, Bitcoin started doing this and I needed to talk about Bitcoin. The dollar yen trade that I have on, yeah, it hit the projection of 111. I've still got that trade on. So I've been riding this move to the upside with dollar yen from this point down here all the way up there. Been waiting for the 111 for a long time. If you recall back in the streams, I was talking about the 110.392. and they just played it out perfectly. But I've been taking positions and trades from this move, from this peak formation down here. That's what I've been doing. Had rise level 1, drop rise level 2, drop level 3 confirmed up there, peak formation. So I'm just waiting for a pullback now for dollar yen. I'm just going to take my profit from that as and when. But long-term trade that was. Okay. Yo, Sonny Biggs, man. What's good, bro? What's good? All right, guys, listen. I'm going to get going. Okay. And Mike Dutch is in the building, guys. Can we all just show some love to Mike? Because Mike was the gentleman. I don't know if I was allowed to do this, and I am sorry, Mike. But Mike was the guy who sat for several hours. I'm talking several hours. And he created this bad boy. We got our own transition, guys. Thank you very much, Mike Dutch. Thank you very much. Mad love to Mike Dutch. If anyone is a streamer and they need help on Streamlabs, getting your platform set up, you know, on Twitch, Mike Dutch is your guy. All right? That's how it all started. He contacted me and he says, you know, do you have a stream platform? And I'm like, how do you spell stream? Do you understand? I didn't have a clue. So, Mr. Mike Dutch, mad love to the guy. But also, blame him if anything goes wrong. That's the agreement. Credit where it's due, but you got to blame Mike when things go wrong. And make sure you subscribe to Mike's podcast. Friday. We always have a podcast on Friday, so please subscribe to the Mike Dutch podcast. That's where I turn up and we have just free conversations. You know, we have guests on there as well every Friday, just after 10:30. So I'll do the stream on the Friday and then go straight to the podcast from there. So make sure that you've subscribed to Mike's channel as well. And be sure to subscribe to the projections channel. I've pinned it to the chat. Mike, can you spam up? Oh, I need to unmute my desktop. Here you go. This is how the actual transition sounds. There you go. I think. There we go. Wonderful. Yeah, you done sick on there. Podcast is on YouTube. All right. Podcast is on YouTube. All right. So listen, guys. It's been a pleasure. And I hope I haven't scared you guys. And that's not what my intention was. Do not confuse fear with reality. Okay? Do not confuse the harsh truths of this game. Okay? We've been focusing on the hour and the 15-minute time frame for the best part of 6-7 months. Okay? The monthly time frame has shown us an interesting story. You may not go down to 19 yet, but based on what we understand, there is a chance that it could happen. But also, there's a chance that it might not. But it all depends. And unfortunately, guys, welcome to speculation. Welcome to the realm of uncertainty. Because this is what you're involved in. If you can't fathom those two truths, do not come to this industry. You've come to the most liquid industry in the world. Of course there's a catch. Mad love and respect to all of you. Take care of yourselves. Peace.